All right, let's get started. Hi there, I'm Josh Goldstein. I'm a solutions architect at Weaviate, and today we're going to be talking about the value of data agentic tooling, which is a work in progress. So simplifying the agentic workflows with purpose-built agents ready to go for your larger agentic applications. A bit of a safe harbor statement. Everything we talk about today is forward-thinking, experimental, not concrete. So, as we all know within this industry, everything is ever evolving, changing, and week by week, we don't know what's next. Once again, Josh Goldstein, solutions architect at Weaviate. Been in search for about 10 years, and like I said, talking about data agents. So, story time. A history of interfacing. First, there was SQL, introduced in the 70s, still widely used today, requires precise syntax, domain knowledge of your schema. It's a string-based syntax with a lot of risk for injection, and really a strong bespoke knowledge is needed to work with SQL. I do remember the first time I learned it, and actually had to remind myself the other day. Next was the native drivers and ORMs, enabling the application developer. An improved UX through code completions, better type management, structured responses. It also mitigated the risk of injections and also made it easier to run complex queries with prepared statements, prepared out-of-the-box functionality. Then, with the emergence of ChatGPT in 2023, traditional RAG came about in 2024. The revolutionary way to talk to content, being able to run fuzzy searches against your documents, your emails, your phone bills, having those high-level chatbots in the corporate environment today, having your enterprise search chatbot, your customer support bots, however, you're still keeping these corpuses up to date. Getting us there really does, this is the first good start getting us there because it gives you the ability to answer questions like, give me the holiday schedule, but it doesn't know which version is the most recent. It can also give you things like, what does a solutions architect do? Or what is the process to submit a ticket? However, it can't answer the questions like, what was last year's most popular product in the Midwest? How many people in solutions are there, and what is their onboarding process? So having this done, you're still getting that initial content back, but you're not able to take it that deep next level of question. So here we are, 2025, with the talk of the year being Agentic AI. So this takes into your consideration your data end to end. Think of the needs of the query. What filter do we need? Do we need to run any aggregations? Do we need to search across multiple corpuses? Do we need to aggregate from one corpus and query against another? This is how you behave like a database expert that knows all the APIs to query. It can extract both structured and fuzzy parts out of a query, can ask clarifying questions if the user's input is ambiguous. It can repeat adjusted queries based on the results in multi-steps, enabling a lot of different types of applications and workflows that not only work for your customer-facing applications, but also the internal applications, trying to work through things such as long-term reporting, or being able to have a complete chat through with a customer segmentation to design the next marketing. So how is this built today? Building an agent today, there are frameworks readily available, as we've all seen in the industry, LangChain, Crew AI, Llama Index. However, the core steps of that agent need to execute still require today the need of design and implementation like traditional systems. You're going to need to invest time and effort in order to accurately get the information from your data sets or the source data that you need to get it ready for an application, similar to those traditional applications that are in production within the corporate enterprise today. Instead, wouldn't you want to focus on the core values of your application, the end user functionality, the value, as opposed to having to go back and do a data wrangling or building out all sorts of complex queries. And this is where data agents come in, which have subject matter expertise on the working data. They can leapfrog your development with an expert agent and framework ready to go in a fraction of the time previously required. And this is where purpose-built agents come in. So what does a data agent do? All of the specific tasks we previously had to worry about collapse into a single box, acting as the intelligent layer between the queries from the application, the data sources, and LLMs most suitable for the tasks. So here at Weaviate, we are, as a vector database, we built data tooling agents known as our Weaviate agents, working on specialized data agents for common use cases across a number of different domains and industries. And we decided to build three: a query agent, a transformation agent, and a personalization agent. Three key tools when building out any information knowledge retrieval system. It enables the users to express natural language queries, which are automatically translated into optimized hybrid queries on the database. It can also support additional functions such as aggregations, filtering, and summarization. It is important because when you're in the enterprise, many data sets are a mix of structured and unstructured content. And it's hard for traditional tools to bridge these gaps together and be able to gain insight from them. Whereas within these query agents, the most accurate data across data sets into the application, not only with minimal code, but also with a better understanding. So having that, like we were discussing, that domain expertise right then and there, because you're also investigating what the data schemas look like, as well as what is an example piece of content to give deterministic ways to go, whether this is an aggregation or a query. So for example, a sales tool searching across customer reviews, the product catalog, and the invoices to figure out what the next product is to sell to a customer. It enables all the variables of filters. So being able to run in a batch capacity, being able to chain questions together, having that ability, as you can see, for having that aggregation aspect as well. And then being able to give insight back into the query. So having that insight and that UX experience that you can see. So seeing the searches answered, found, what the step-by-steps are coming in, and making sure it's streaming that back in so you can have some of those things for the more UX design and end user design that you want. So within those query agents, having that holistic ability to do this end-to-end around all the things you would want to see, not only from a developer experience, a data retrieval experience, but also from a user experience as well. So as you can see, having those results coming in that nice manner as well. The next agent is the data transformation agent. Data is shitty. We all know that data rarely shows up perfect and ready to use. We traditionally spend a significant amount of time reworking existing data, reworking existing data. What do we have to do for it? We usually have to transform, classify, clean. This can also be sped up with the AI data agent that makes focus of useful transformations. So being able to transform stored data based on a prompt, using an LLM to summarize, translate, classify, or otherwise create new content based on existing objects, with the results also being written back into the database. So now that you have this as also in your long-term storage. So being able to do things like create new properties through classification, being able to just give it instructions, being able to define the data type as well to make sure that you can keep that type safe, enabling, if you want that classification to be numerical, being able to filter and range filter on it. Being able to also not only take existing properties, rework them, but also add new properties. So for instance, like on Amazon.com now, you see that new section down below, right above the reviews, which is that summarized section. That is something that can be done through a data transformation agent. Also summarizing a customer's tone or vibe that they can add. You can go then add into using a persona agent, using that, adding that data in, so you're still getting that customer. You can still add to that 360 around that customer itself. You can also update these properties. So now we have two fundamental components for working with data: the transformation agent, which creates the more insightful stuff, which creates the more insightful data sets, and then the query agent, which facilitates fast and accurate data retrieval and summarization. So beyond this, the ultimate goal is to get all the information into hands of users for that personalization agent, which is that next step agent, which captures user behavior and interactions in real time, dynamically suggests and recommended items to users based on prior interactions, agentic re-ranking, using user attributes, age, interest, business unit, prior interactions alongside an LLM to cater the retrieve results to each user. Agentic pre-discovery utilizes an agent to learn common patterns in user interactions to create a persona for each user and pre-filter the results on that persona. So then as we take this next step, being able to do things like, as the marketing department is chatting with the enterprise search chatbot, some of the more marketing content would come up more as the result set to use within that chatbot response. Or in that typical e-commerce case, getting that either recommended item on the recommended screen, or being able to enable features like a what's next. So clicking on a product and then clicking on a recommended next product, going from clicking on cereal to maybe recommending milk. With 3 data agents, we work in concert to turn prompts into structured data actions. The possibilities beyond even more exciting when we think about multimodal data, like audio and images at the tips of our fingers, ready to be enriched and personalized. Thank you. So if you want to get started, you can get started today by signing up for a Weaviate Cloud account. We offer free sandboxes for 14 days. You can sign up and you can start trying these agents in preview immediately today. You will see that right in the screen on your console. And I will now open it up to any questions. Okay, let me start at the top. For a team starting with agentic tooling, is it better to buy, adapt, open source, or build from scratch? When I started, went through a lot of tutorials, all of those kinds of things. Different types of, with the emergence of the MCPs and the tooling, having an open source outer framework really does help, because you want to keep, you want to try and keep a balance of, of using a framework versus having to customize it yourself. How do you manage versioning, access control, or audibility for agent-driven data workflows? So for these, for the ones that I have seen being run and Weaviate has been being leveraged in, a lot of them are still using some of those traditional Airflows and data pipeline technologies to help manage as the ease of use of integrating things like Python and all the various languages that the agentic frameworks are in. What are the most common blockers enterprises face in deploying agentic systems for data discovery or integration? I think the hottest topic for today, as of today, is the security, quality control. I know for traditional ML models, certain financial institutions, it would take months of iterative training. Understanding too, as well, there's a lot of we don't know what we don't know yet. in terms of you start seeing a lot of these reports out from BCG and Accenture and McKinsey around these agentic frameworks and the necessary components, making sure that you have a good evaluation framework, you have your guardrails set up, you have your testing plans, and it's the same as, from when digital transformation was the hot topic, it's AI strategy transformation. All right. And then the dynamically personalized user experience slide shows an an agent sits between the application and the database, user context to filter or re-rank the tool. What types of signals are most effective for personalization? So for personalization, it depends. Click signals are always the number one. Clicking is is the number one indicator of if someone has interacted with the system or not. Other things that I have that you can use, definitely purchase history, past search histories I've used in the past. If we're talking in more of an enterprise personalization and not in an e-commerce type scenario, definitely taking into more, departmental type understanding. So not only using that employees click signals, but kind of like the overall consensus or the themes of what people are searching in for within the team or the department itself.